The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you tap into their Underdog Fantasy pick 'em. You can get a special pick and a first-time deposit offer up to 50%, 50%, up to $1,000. 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. Make sure you use that promo code NBA SGPN for a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000 over there at Underdog Fantasy. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Start crushing NBA, college football, NFL with Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no the voice, no the guy. It's me, really real, villain real. Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service, kind of.
How about if you sweep it out?
What's the point? I can't do anything right.
You'll do fine.
Hey, pal. You just blowing from Stupid Town?
Oh, man. Wow. Call me out for it, blowing in from Stupid Town for not only in the same episode trusting the Timberwolves, but also trusting the Pelicans in that very same episode. Very, very, very unlike me. Wow. But I mean, you know what? The T-Wolves pick, I'm perfectly fine. Dog didn't hit either. De'Aaron Fox, he had 19. He was going for 30 at the end, but the Jazz sucks. So we'll toss that out. Timberwolves. You know what? That's my fault. I trust Ant. I don't trust Timberwolves. That's been a thing for me for a long time. The fact that I trust Ant, I don't trust Timberwolves. That's my fault. Cool, whatever. Completely on me. But the Pelicans. Oh, the Pelicans. The Pelicans aren't good for anything. Like, they're not even good. First of all, I don't even like birds. I don't know why I would bet on the Pelicans. I mean, I knew I had to touch the stove to make sure the stove was hot, but golly, if the thing took my hand off, I'm telling you right now, I am not gonna bet the Pelicans again. I can find every reason to not bet the Pelicans. Like, oh my gosh, 20 up 20 up 20. Oh yeah, absolutely not. I'm so done with the Pelicans. Scott Studio Reichel. Scott, what's going on?
Scotty, beam me up.
Surprise.
Doing pretty well, can't complain. Definitely looking forward to the large amount of games we have today. I believe we have 11. For the games yesterday, I didn't have that much action. To be honest, I did have the Nets money line to parlay, which I don't want to talk about because that was pretty rough. They were up 17, and they immediately I knew once it was going to overtime, it was over. But the Nets did cover in the end. It wasn't a bad beat if you had Denver. I don't want to hear it. Your team trailed by 17. You trailed the entire game. Like a layup at the buzzer in overtime, I'm not going to feel bad for you that Denver didn't cover the actual spread.
Yeah, they suck.
Besides that, though, the Kings I thought were solid. I saw Laurie got injured, which is unfortunate. Utah started to tank early this season. They're 0-4. It's not going to go well for that team. Golden State came back. Nice win for them. I feel like I've seen New Orleans do the same thing for about, I don't know, as long as Willie Green got there. And good win for Dallas. So nothing too shocking. The Denver win was, I'd say, the most thrilling game because they trailed by 17. The game was close. Really bad scheduling spot for the Nuggets because they ended up having an overtime game in Toronto the day prior, had to travel. And yeah, you ended up seeing Westbrook play well. Jokic had, I think it was like 29, 15, and 14. It was something stupid. And they got the job done there. So yeah, Denver's now, I believe, 2-2. I still don't think that team is actually good.
No,
but
they're not. They're actually
Joker's going to do Joker things. And I feel like he's not going to win MVP, obviously, because I think that there's voter fatigue. If Denver finishes somehow in a top 4 seed, he should win it because he actually is carrying the entire team by himself. But they're not going to be a top 4 seed. Like, the team's not very good. It was a good loss for the Nets for a tanking perspective. You want to lose games like that, but you probably should have won that game.
I wonder how much is Denver to make the play-in.
That's what I was
Participate in the
thinking of that
play-in.
team.
Denver to participate in the play-in is 2-1 right now, Scott.
I mean, I think it's a good deal. I thought about betting them to miss, which is a possibility, but I mean, Murray, we've seen, he looked okay yesterday, but for the most part, he's not looked that great. He has injury history. So does Michael Porter Jr. There could be some injuries on the way. They really can't afford an injury to anybody because damn, that supporting cast and that bench unit suck.
And
So
I don't think
they
they're
got
beating
problems.
anybody of substance either, Scott. Like,
Yeah.
Scott, they're
No.
plus 360 to miss the playoffs. This is actually.
I mean, their win total's in the 50s. I don't see
Why
them
are
getting
we-
there.
Yeah, why are we not? We should really fade this team right now. This team
I mean,
isn't good.
it's a
And
good
what
spot.
can they
Yeah.
possibly do to make themselves better?
It's a good
Like,
spot to take it because they actually did win a couple games in a row. But once again, it was a bad spot, but Toronto is not any good. And they only won because Barnes got injured. Barnes left
Yeah.
the game with an eye injury, and they probably would have lost that game because he was killing them. And then they played the Nets. And yes, it's a bad spot, but I mean, you got killed by Schroeder, you got killed by Cam Thomas. The only reason why you won the game is because the Nets have no centers. And they put Claxton on an island to get destroyed by Joker for about 20 minutes. That's why you won the game. You didn't actually play well, but you were in a dogfight against the Raptors and the Nets in back-to-back games, and I'm supposed to think you're good now? I think they're a play-in team.
they play the Timberwolves next on Friday. They probably lose that game. I think you got to go get in on that bet now. Wow. Yeah, this Denver team sucks. All right, Scott. Hey, first of all, I just have to let everybody know that Sean Stacking the Money Green sent us a message this morning. And you know it's big when Sean Stacking the Money Green takes a minute to send you a message. And he went to say, hey, guys, nice job cracking the top 50 in the sports Spotify chart. We did. We are in the top 50 of sports podcasts on Spotify. We are beating the Dan Lebitard Show, Dale Jr. download. What? This one says Omaha Productions numbers on the board. We're beating all of them. Thank you. Appreciate that. That is what you do for us. You guys are doing that. And you know what? I would love for you to continue doing it by giving us a 5-star rating and review right now on Spotify. 5-star rating and review, and let's push us up higher. Let's even jump the Sports Gambling Podcast. Like, we can do that. That is a possibility for us. I think we have that in us because the NBA fans are very, very loyal to this podcast for whatever reason. I guess you like us, but I appreciate it. So 5-star rating and review on Spotify. Really, really appreciate it. Hey, if you're on Apple, you can give us a 5-star rating and review too. Just do it right now, like literally right now, as we talk about this first game, because Scott, we are going to Cleveland. The Los Angeles Lakers are walking into Cleveland. Cavs laying 4.5 here. Scott, I've seen this up as high as 5.5. 225.5 is the total. Injury report here in Cleveland for the return of Bronny Jr. and Bronny Sr. We have Austin Reeves and D'Lo are both game time decisions. Koloko, Vanderbilt, Christian Wood out as usual.
Vanderbilt's injured? I can't believe it. Vanderbilt's injured? I'm shocked. Really?
Imani Bates, Craig Porter Jr., and Max Strus all out for the Cavs. Cavs 4-0 here with Kenny Atkinson trying to make it 5-0, Scott. But how do we not bet this Lakers team right now?
I think I'm going to take the Cavs.
I mean, you're guaranteed to see Bronny James minutes, Scott.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take the Cavs.
Okay.
You didn't need to sell me. I already said I was going to take the Cavs. I don't need Bronny to play to sell me on it even.
I mean, I was just letting you know that you're 100%. Like, you should feel good about your bet because you're 100% getting at least 3 Bronny James minutes.
I'm just saying, clock's ticking on Bronny. He's only got 4 road games left to score a point. He's getting sent down after that. He's only got 4 games left. He's got to make them count. But
hey, wait.
Like,
so are we taking the under half a point on Bronny again today?
I mean, if they post
they're going to offer it.
At some point, he's going to score. It's such a Pistons game for him to do
that.
But
this is Cleveland. I know. Depending on the plus money, we have to take the over on the point. This is Cleveland. This is the
Depends
return
on
to
the
Cleveland.
plus money. But I wish it would be a half instead of 1.5 because I can see him going 1 of 2 from the foul line. I can see that happening.
Is there 1.5s really?
That's what it was for the first game of the season. They haven't posted it since. But if there would be a prop posted, it would probably be 1.5. But The point is, for this matchup, the Lakers, we've seen in years past, they've been very good at home and really bad on the road. They had a weird game against Phoenix, which was kind of the polar opposite of the first game against Phoenix, where they were trailing by a lot in the first game, came back and they won. Then game 2, they're smacking Phoenix, and then they immediately lose, and you saw LeBron have the worst game, arguably, of his career. Can I say that? Like, he was really bad in that game. Point is, though, the Lakers on the road, I'm still not sold on. The Cavs, I do think, are a very solid team. I dared them to show up against the Knicks. I thought it was a good spot for the Knicks. I thought that the Cavs had faced off against weak competition. They came out, they fell down early, and they got back up. Garland, I thought, was great. He kind of kicked your team's ass in the fourth quarter of that game. But the point is, I thought Cleveland went into a hostile environment. They
Damn,
got the job
Sky.
done. Garland was great. Point is, though, I like what I saw from Cleveland. I think Cleveland is a solid team. I think Atkinson's done a good job. But I do think the Lakers, they've had one road game, and they blew a 20-point lead. I feel like I'm not going to be fully sold on the Lakers until I see them look sharp against a good team on the road. And the Lakers, I do think, are a pretty solid team, at least from what we've seen so far. I think Redick's done a pretty good job with that team, at least compared to Darvin Ham, if we're comparing the two. But I still think the Lakers have some flaws. I mean, they're still overly reliant on LeBron, who's about 40, and AD to carry this entire team. I still don't really like the supporting cast that much. I think it's fine. I mean, Connect's been hit or miss, which is expected. Reeves might not play. He's been solid. D'Lo should get traded. I mean, he's been in the doghouse already with Redick, and they've been using Vincent to close some games here or there. But the point is, do I like their supporting cast that much? Not really. I think the Lakers are fine, but I think the Cavs at home are the better team. And I think they have the size that they can actually throw at AD. I'm not saying they can actually stop AD, but if you have Mobley, you have Allen, you have different guys you can throw at them, which I think actually does something. I'll go with Cleveland here. I think the Lakers are, once again, a better team than they were last year, but I think Cleveland's better. And I think that the Lakers traveling to the East Coast, having to play a game here is, well, does Ohio count as East Coast? I think it does. Point is, though, traveling basically cross-country to play, not the best spot. I'll go with Cleveland at home.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I kind of really like what JJ Redick is doing with this team. And I think that this is a competitive game that they understand what the feeling is, and they understood the feeling of the first game, and they showed up really, really big against Minnesota. I think I'm taking Lakers here. I like the Lakers to show up in this spot, but I will say I'm not placing any bet or anything. Like, I am strictly down the middle until the injury report comes out. Because if D'Lo and Reeves are both out, I can't put money on the Lakers. Like, I just can't. I won't bet the game at that point. But I think that the Knicks win is a really, really big win. This is a great start to the season for the Cavs with Kenny Atkinson, and they do look really, really good. But I just don't know if I want to fade this Lakers team and Anthony Davis. Like, Anthony Davis is playing like an MVP at this level, and if you're getting that in addition with just enough of the role player, like, I think the role players that you talk about, Scott, they're actually playing really well under JJ Redick. Like, he's putting them in their best opportunities and what they need to do to succeed. And so, yeah, I'm good on right now. I want to see what happens with Reeves and D'Lo. I think they are needed for a Lakers upset here. But if not, then yeah, I could go Cavs after that. But
By the
I'm
way,
on the Lakers.
Ohio's technically the Midwest. It's not in the East Coast, but it's on the east. It's on the
Yeah,
east
yeah.
half of the country. So whatever.
Yeah, it is. I actually like Connect if Reeves doesn't play, or like, yeah, if Reeves
Yeah,
doesn't
me
play,
too.
I actually kind of like Connect to score some points and hit some threes in this game. It just feels like that's a guy JJ Redick is going to draw up a bunch of plays for. Uh, all right, 225.5 is the total. I like defense. I like the defense, and I think the Lakers can step up defensively. But I think Cleveland is really, really solid defensive bunch. Give me under 225.5. The pace slows down. It's a big moment. Place is going to be rocking. Yeah, I like under here, under 225.5. Probably my better play of the game.
I think I prefer the Lakers team total under, actually, because I am picking the Cavs to win. I think the Lakers defense has been better, but I think it has not exactly been amazing. I've seen some lapses at times, but I think Cleveland defensively has been pretty good. So I don't mind them slowing down the Lakers. Maybe the game turns into a bit of a grinded out fourth quarter. So you can still be right. Maybe the Lakers keep it close, but we think it's physical no matter what. So I'll take the Lakers team total under in this game.
All right. Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you tap into their awesome menu of sports: NBA, NFL, college football, MLB, WNBA, NASCAR, more. Hey, and make sure it is still Boosttober, so you're getting a whole bunch of spooky profit boost in there. Make sure you use them. Sign up with that promo code NBA SGPN, get a special pick and first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code NBA SGPN. And we will be dropping an underdog lineup at the end of the show. Make sure you stick around for that. But let me take you to a lock, Scott. The Charlotte Hornets are at home welcoming the Toronto Raptors. The Raptors are catching 6.5 here on the road. 225 is the total injury report. And we have for the Toronto Raptors, Scotty Barnes is out. Bruce Brown is still wearing his cowboy boots and hat on the sidelines. Kelly Olynyk is out. Emmanuel Quickly is a game time decision. And for the Charlotte Hornets, no Brandon Miller, no Mark Williams, no Jeffries. All right, Scott, I just wanted to let you know and let the people know that this Raptors and Hornets game is a matchup between the Raptors, who I think suck, and who are coming off of, what is this? This is their 4th game in 6 nights. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
So, yeah, 4th game in 6 nights. They're coming off the overtime game against the Nuggets. Is it the overtime game against the Nuggets? Was that the last game they played? Or was there one before that? Yeah.
And Barnes got injured in that game.
Yeah. So, Scotty Barnes now more than likely out for this game as well. So, you have a rest advantage on the other side for the Charlotte Hornets. They are actually getting multiple days of rest here. They last played on the 26th against Miami, and it was at home. So they've been at home practicing, resting for this game. They're going to beat the shit out of the Raptors today. This Raptors team isn't good, and I'm tired of this pro Raptor bullshit around here.
Is
Fuck
there pro
OVO.
Raptors? We think this team sucks.
No, but I've heard the people out there. There's people out there that are saying that the Raptors are competitive and that the Raptors are going to be in games, and it's over. It's absolutely over. Fuck this shit. Give me the Hornets. Lay chalk 6.5. They're going to beat the shit out of the Raptors today.
I'm with you. I think the Raptors are terrible. The only redeeming quality of this team, I guess, was Barnes against the Nuggets, and you have Quickly, who paid a lot of money, and they're both probably not going to play. So you're missing a lot of high-paid guys on your lineup here. You still have Barrett playing, but I got to go Charlotte. LaMelo's been great this season. I mean, his numbers have been
31
solid.
points per game.
Yeah, he's been great. But the point is, you're looking at what Lee's done with that team, and they've looked better defensively. They're still the Hornets. They're not going to be a great defensive team. But what does Toronto have? If you take Barnes out and you take Quickly out, what exactly do they have on the roster? They don't have much, and they don't play any defense to begin with.
Bunch of Northerners.
You have a decent amount of jersey exchanges with Grady Dick, but that's basically it. You don't really have anything on the court. But the point is the team's not very good, and now you're missing 2 of your 3 best guys. I feel like the Raptors, we thought going into the year, would be a bottom feeder. We thought they'd finish with probably in the mid-20s for wins. Charlotte, I was low on, but to be honest, I've been impressed so far. Yes, they had a bad game against the Hawks defensively. That happens. Trey went crazy, but I think that LaMelo has definitely looked better this season. They still have Bridges, who's been a solid complementary piece. I think they're the better team. So I'll play the drop, but I'm with you. Toronto, I was going to fade anyway, but with the injuries they have, I just have to fade them in particular because they're missing a lot of guys. And yeah.
Who's got the chalk?
Not going to sit on props because we need to move on, but I will say I do like Bridges today. I do like Trey Mann coming off the bench today, and I think Jakob Poeltl fucking sucks. All right. The Atlanta Hawks on the road going to play the Washington Wizards. Wait, real quick. Do you have any? I didn't have any thoughts on that total. It was 225.5 in the Raptors Hornets game. Do you have it?
For me, probably Hornets team total over, but that's basically it.
Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah, Hornets team total over for sure. All right, Atlanta Hawks on the road going to play the Washington Wizards. Hawks laying 4.5 here. I mean, did we not learn our lesson the last time? 233 is the total injury report here for the Atlanta Hawks, and we have game time decision on DeAndre Hunter. Bogdanovich is out. I think he's out for a while, like 4 weeks. Bufkin, Daniels, Zeller, all of them all out. Sadiq Bey out for the year, isn't he?
I don't know if he's out for the year, but he's out for a while.
All right, Sadiq Bey out for the Wizards.
I think he hurt his
Malcolm
knee
Brogdon.
last year, so he might come back later in the
Okay, that
year.
was
But
okay. Malcolm Brogdon is out, and Kyle Kuzma is out as well. I mean, are you laying point? I mean, they might do it, but I'm not gonna lay the points with them.
the issue is that it's the Wizards, and the Wizards did win a game. They were down double digits. They came back and won. Trey was awful in that game. He single-handedly punted the entire game. But the point is, the Wizards made a lineup change in the fourth quarter, and it worked out. I don't want to say Koulibaly was the point guard, but they had a lot of Koulibaly possessions against Trey, and I thought he was very, very good. Koulibaly had a great offensive game. Trey couldn't guard him. Although defensively, the length that Koulibaly possesses gave Trey some problems, and I think that can be a lineup they're going to use again. Now, the issue with the Wizards here, they have no Kuzma. And Kuzma was great in that last game against Atlanta. I think he had like 25, 11, and 7. I see you. How's it going? I think you're looking at the, once again, the Wizards without Kuzma not having many weapons. Kuzma was great in the last game they had. And I think that with him not being there, they almost choked away that game too. They were up double digits with like 3 minutes to go. And that game came down to a last-second shot attempt by Trey. I'm going to go with Atlanta here. I think it's a good spot where they have a bit of the chip on their shoulder. We talk about the splitting of the home and home all the time. And Atlanta just lost to the Wizards. I think they're the worst team in the league. Like, I think Atlanta had a good showing in the last, I'd say, 3 minutes of that game where they could have gotten the job done. Kuzma was great. He's not available, but it's mostly Atlanta being up double digits. They could have won the game. They took their foot off the gas and they lost. I think it was a game they should have won. I think they think they should have won. And Trey was that bad, and they still had a shot to win the game. I'll go with Atlanta. I think it's a good spot to get some revenge. I think Atlanta wins by like 7.
That minus number by their name just doesn't ever feel good. But you're probably right. Wizards team is pretty bad. Give me some type of Trey Young prop and money line for the Atlanta Hawks, just in case they get a little funny. But they probably should. It is a classic back-to-back game set spot where the favorite lost, and then you do come back on the favorite in the second game. That is a system play. Dog wins the first game, favorite comes back, lay the points with them the second game. It's just a fucking Atlanta. All right, whatever. Atlanta -5. You're right. We shouldn't be biased.
It's still the Wizards, and they're missing Kuzma. Like, I'm not going to overreact to one game.
233.
I'm not taking the under. I mean, I know Kuzma's out, which is a big deal for Washington. I'd prefer Atlanta team total over.
Just in case Washington can't score.
Yeah, that's kind of
Just
my thought.
in case. Yeah, I'm with you. Same piece there. All right, let's get on to the next one. We have the Boston Celtics on the road going to play the Indiana Pacers. I've seen this up as high as 7. It's now 6.5. I'm pretty sure I saw 7.5. It's now 6.5. 235 is the total. Injury report here in Indiana. We have Sam Hauser, game time decision. No Porzingis still. Game time decision for Miles Turner as well. Here we go, Scott.
It's a rematch.
Revenge game. I
It is.
mean, are you getting in front of Boston right now?
I feel like the only way I'd consider it would actually be if I was going to take them. I'd fade them on the road. And if I thought Indiana, who, let's be real, probably should have won 2 games in that series last year, if they get up and they just, I'd say, put together a great fight at home. I'm not sure how good Indiana is.
I don't
Because
think they're good at all.
I was going to say, because we saw them lose to the Knicks, and Halliburton scored no points. Then Embiid's not playing. Paul George isn't playing. Shout out to Embiid, though, got a tech for waving a towel.
On the bench, yeah.
It turned out to be a pretty good tech because they won the game. But he ended up drawing a missed free throw. But the point is they lost in overtime at home to the Sixers with no Embiid and no Paul George. I'm not sure how good Indiana actually is. Now, I think the line was actually like 7.5, and I think it dropped to 6.5. This line looks very, very trappy to me.
Mm-hmm.
I might just trust my instincts here, and I'll go with Indiana, but I'm not going to bet this. this isn't a lock for Boston. It's not a lock for Indiana, but the line feels short. Indiana does match up relatively well with this team, which I know sounds crazy because they got swept. But if you watch that series last year, Indiana's pace did give Boston some problems. I actually think Indiana matches up with Boston better than most teams. I'll take the home with Indiana. They're a good home team usually.
Yeah.
If you want to
Nah.
maybe Boston 1-10, they win a close game, something like that. But Indiana has played Boston tough over the years. I'll give Indiana some credit.
You know what? This is a perfect time for me to show the viewers that it's no smoke. And you know what? They finally got it done, so I'm giving them a new light. I'll take Boston.
All right.
Yeah. I think Indiana sucks. I don't think Indiana's good at all. And Halliburton is playing like shit right now. Like, if he's not going to play well, there's no way they win this game. And then it's really the Miles Turner thing. Now, I can go and reevaluate this if Miles Turner plays, I can reevaluate this because I think Miles Turner is going to have a great game if he's able to play and able to go and be good. I think he's going to have a great game and kill this team, start your centers against Celtics. But yeah, no, I'll take Boston. Indiana sucks, man. Like, they're not good. Every time, any team that had substance they played, they lost. Only team they beat was Detroit. And they had to come back in that game and do that. No way. Indiana sucks. All right. Before we get to the next game on the slate, gotta talk to you about Rhythm. Rhythm AI. I'm about to fire out the Rhythm AI right now and look at the picks of the day, see what they got going on. But you can use Rhythm AI models, or you can go in there and build your own NBA models. Matter of fact, I might need to build an NBA model and see what my model has going on for the season. It's probably going to take some very, very large dogs. I should do that, and it'll help streamline my dog process. So I'm gonna build a model. But looking here, let's see what they like for the slate today. Ooh, they like a lot of stuff. I can't wait to touch on some of these games. But what I will say is that Rhythm likes the under 235.5 in the Celtics and Pacers game that we were just talking about. Under, make sure you lock in with Rhythm. They say it's a 58.3% win probability. So make sure you go ahead and check out the Rhythm AI sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM for a 7-day free trial. And we're also brought to you by BetUS, the best in the business. They've been around for more than 30 years, and they make it so easy for you to easily deposit cryptocurrency to get lightning fast payouts. Hey, it's still Halloween, so trick or treat on Horror Streets because from now until Halloween, they're offering daily promotions and a raffle entry to win a sports or casino prize pack. So, hey, make sure you get in and enter. They're going to give it away on October 31st, tomorrow. You can enter multiple times, and every $200 deposit gets you one entry. So head over there to BetUS, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. All right. Let's see here. We have the Detroit Pistons, who I think are a very, very competitive 0-4 team. They are clearly not the worst team in the league when you watch them play these games. But they're 0-4 nonetheless, going up against the Philadelphia 76ers. 76ers laying 4.5 here at home. 219 is the total injury report. And we have Asar Thompson out for the Detroit Pistons. Paul George, Joel Embiid out for the Philadelphia 76ers. Scott, Detroit and Philly, what are you doing?
Yeah, so Philly, I don't think it's that good, but it makes sense because they're extremely injured. Maxey had 45 the other night on a ton of shot attempts. But
Mm-hmm.
the Pistons I had as my lock last episode. I had them plus the 8.5 against Miami. System play, they lost by 8. They've been competitive. They don't win games, but they hang in there. The problem is you're threading a needle if you're picking the Pistons to lose again, but to cover. So I think I am going to go with Detroit in this game. The line feels very short. Philly's off a nice win on the road against Indiana, and nobody cares. Like 4.5 feels pretty low for this actual spot. I think it's trappy. I think Detroit can actually win this game. I know Detroit in the past has been owned by Philly, mainly because Embiid walks into 40 points every time they play against each other, but Embiid's not here. So I think Detroit's alive to win it. I think that Cunningham has looked pretty solid this season. Ivy's looked fine. I'm not the biggest Tim Hardaway Jr. guy, but the point is Duran, I think, can battled Drummond on the boards. I like Drummond rebounds in this game, by the way. I think Drummond's going to kill him on the glass, but I think you're looking at the Pistons being competitive. If Philly wins this, I wouldn't be shocked, but Detroit's been pretty good ATS. They've been managing to lose games, but they've been competitive, as you said, and I don't think Philly's that good, at least right now with all the injuries. So give me Detroit. I think Detroit hangs in there. I think that they might have a shot to win the game, but I think it will come down to the wire. So I'll go with the points.
Yeah, and for me, it's just the fact of Philly's not good defensively. Like they're just not a good defensive bunch, giving up 117.7 points per game. That's towards the bottom of the NBA. They're giving up they're giving up turnovers, they're giving up points off of those turnovers. Like I just think that this is not the most sound Philadelphia team because it's not the team that they thought they were going to have. And so yeah, this feels like a game that Detroit absolutely comes in there and does what they always do this season, just in the game, in the game, in the game. And at some point, they're going to finally win the fucking game. I like Detroit first half more.
All right.
I do. But give me Detroit Pistons plus 4.5. I think they're going to get this done. This is it, Scott. They covered the last two. Now they finally get the win.
They've been hanging in there. They seem to always fall apart in the last 5 minutes, but they're usually, close. That counts.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. 219 is the total. Scott, I don't trust Philly defensively. I definitely don't trust the Pistons defensively, but I don't trust Philly defensively. I don't think they look good at all. Like, yeah, over.
I'll go over 2.
All right. Let's see here. Philly 3-0 to the over this season, by the way.
See a question from Adam, by the way, wondering about Maxey, King of the Court. King of the Court, you kind of have to be involved in rebounds and assists. You can't just get there with points. And you have that many games on the slate, I probably wouldn't go with Maxey. If Maxey will get King of the Court with that many games, he probably needs
Can you
like
explain
45
King of the Court?
So DraftKings has a promotion right now where if you place a prop bet on a player and they end up leading the entire slate in PRA, you get rewarded in bonus bets.
Oh.
So they've been doing this promo for a couple days.
Oh, Paolo Banchero got people paid the other day.
Banchero got people paid. Joker got paid people yesterday, which was the most obvious pick imaginable against the Nets.
Yeah.
But the point is that you're trying to find one guy that will lead everybody in PRA. Maxey, I would not take because the rebounds and the assists probably won't be there. And if you want to go for Maxey to have a monster game and you think he has a shot to win King of the Court, just bet him to score 45 points. Just bet him to go for 40. It's the only way he gets there. So instead of taking King of the Court, I'd rather take him 40-plus points because the rebounds won't be there. The assists probably won't be there. It's a better way to go about it. But for the sake of King of the Court, you want guys that can rebound and pass in addition to score. That's my 2 cents on King of the Court.
And just talking about the games that we talked about thus far, I think my number one would be LaMelo. I don't know how you can fade LaMelo.
LaMelo won the first day of King of the Court.
I don't know how you can fade LaMelo right now. Like he's doing everything. So I think as of right now, it would be LaMelo. But let's go through the rest of the slate. It might change my mind. All right, but we got the New York Knicks, my New York Knicks, on the road going to play the Miami Heat. Not gonna lie, Scott, I saw this line up to 2. It's down to 1.5 here. Knicks laying 1.5 on the road. 215.5 is total injury report here for these two teams. And we have for the New York Knicks, Josh Hart, game time decision. Precious Achiuwa is out. Mitchell Robinson's out, of course. Kevin Love is out for the Miami Heat. That is it. Scott, I'm actually surprised that the Knicks are laying here. I mean, I guess they fared better against Miami in recent years. So maybe they're not an auto fade, but there was a point in time where I could never trust this team against Miami. Like that was a guaranteed loss every time.
I mean, they were pretty good against the Heat last year, weren't they?
Yeah. Like I think last year was the year, but I mean, there was a good, decent, important time where I just automatically faded my Knicks against Miami because we never used to beat Miami. However, I don't know. I'm still not bought in on the Knicks.
That's fair. Are you bought in on the Heat? Because I'm not. I don't think the Heat are that good. I know it's in Miami and they tend to be like pretty decent.
They got
I guess
the
they're
shit
decent
beat out of them. They got the shit beat out of them by Orlando. Like I just can't get. Like I know Orlando is good, But like, if you're gonna lose to good teams like that, because they've only played Orlando, Charlotte, Detroit, we don't really know how good they are. But holy fuck, they got the shit beat out of them by Orlando. Like,
I don't think the Heat are that good. So I'll go with the Knicks. But I get why you're hesitant because it's in Miami. We know that these games tend to be very physical. They tend to be a bit of a battle there. But I think the Knicks are a better team. And we roast the Heat all the time for never covering spreads at home. Yes, this case they're a dog. It was
yeah,
more,
that's the thing.
I'd
That's the
say,
thing. They're a dog.
comfortable when they were favorites. But I think the Knicks are a better team. I mean, what? The Knicks lost the season to Boston and to Cleveland? Am I supposed to be like mad at that? They lost to two of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. I mean, you're looking at Miami and who they've lost to so far. They lost one game. They lost to Orlando, who should be good as well. But they beat Charlotte on the road. They beat Detroit. They didn't cover. I think the Knicks are the better team. So if you're giving me a line that's very, very cheap at 1.5, I think the Knicks are the better team. I'll go with New York. Bing bong.
Mm. I want a bing bong. I do want a bing bong. It's probably good. It's probably bad juju if I bing bong and I fade the Heat as a dog at home in the same bet. That's probably not good juju. All right, I'm just gonna stick to the system. Heat or a dog at home. I'm gonna take the Heat. No good feel in that game. 215.5 is total. I don't care.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, it used to be an auto under when these teams got together, but not so much now.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I don't think I want to auto. I mean, in the Heat defense, they still been solid defensively, but like, who have they played yet? Yeah, I don't want anything to do with this total. Give me, give me an under for old time's sakes, but I'm not betting this.
yeah, I think I'm just going to go once again with the Knicks, but it's a game where I'll wait for some injuries as the Heat being involved. You never know, but I do think the Knicks are the better team. So I think the price is pretty cheap. And the
All
Knicks
right,
might be motivated. You know, they had Cleveland on the ropes. They kind of fell apart in the fourth quarter there. Decent get back spot, you know?
I'll take Brunson props. Thank you very much.
I don't think anybody on Miami can guard him.
At all, nobody. As much as
I
as
kind of
much
like
as
Jimmy
Jimmy.
Butler unders, actually.
Ooh, really?
I think the
Talk to
Knicks
me.
match up well with Jimmy Butler. You're thinking of all the 3-and-D wings they have with Anunoby, with Bridges,
Hmm.
even if you want to throw hard on them. They have a lot of guys. And Butler, I know, of course, it's not playoff Jimmy, so I can speak badly about him. Still not a great outside shooter, like at all. He still kind of tries to operate in the mid-range, trying to go to the foul line a bunch, but the Knicks do have a lot of bodies to throw at him. I think it's a pretty bad matchup for Butler. When you think of the actual Knicks roster, with the amount of guys they have to throw at him, isn't that a bad matchup for Jimmy?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Let's remember that for underdog. Jimmy, lower. Let's remember that for underdog. I really like that play. All right, Orlando Magic on the road going to play the Chicago Bulls. Magic are laying 5.5 here. Scott, I remember seeing this last night at 4. 229.5 is the total injury report here for these two teams, and we have Gogo Batazzi, game time decision. Jonathan Isaac, per usual, game time decision. We have Lonzo Ball is out. Ah, man, I mean,
It's a wrist
gosh
issue, though.
darn
It's,
it.
it's not a leg issue,
I
so
know,
that's
but
something.
still, he was back. He was back. He was back. Now he's not. And Orlando's laying 5.5 here. Who are the Chicago Bulls?
They're a bad basketball team.
All right, so we're 100% labeling them as a bad basketball team.
I mean, Levine's been great this year. I'll give props to Levine, who came back from injury. Makes sense, though, with the usage because DeRozan's not there anymore. They're just going to let Levine cook. But he's been great. Vucevic has been fine. I still don't think this team's that good. They've been maybe better than I thought they were going to be, but I still think they're a below 500 team, obviously. I don't see them being a play-in team. They, in theory, could be, but I think Orlando's better than them. I guess the concern is Orlando didn't look great against Indiana, and Banchero had a masterclass. He had like 37, 7, and 6 at the half, and they still had to come back in the fourth quarter, and Indiana was on a back-to-back.
And
Like, it was a win, and wins all count the same. It was really not an impressive win when you factor in the spot, but they got the job done. And, of course, you saw Wagner leave the game early. So I think Orlando's better, but I do want to ask you what you think of this Orlando team because I thought they were going to be very good. I'm not hesitating on that, but So far this season, they've been fine, but not as good as I thought they would be.
No, I think they actually been pretty good. I think the Memphis
So
game
3-1,
that
they've
was
been fine. I just
yeah,
thought they'd
like
pass the eye test a bit more for me.
I think it was really the Indiana game that really ruined. Like I felt very good about them after the Miami game. I felt pretty solid after the Nets game as well. But it was last game. I think that's the sour taste, the fact of like Paulo did all of that and you guys let them back in the game. And even, at one point was threatening to lose that game. So my thing with the Chicago Bulls is okay, they lost to the Pelicans, which is actually horrible as we look at it right now. And they lost to OKC, but damn, they have a win against the Bucks and the Grizzlies on the road. Like, who is this Bulls team? I'm sticking with the better team. Give me Orlando.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
All right, 229.5. Mm,
I mean, Orlando tends to be an under team, but I don't know if the Bulls can guard anybody. So that's kind of a mix. I think I'll
yeah.
go under. If I'm picking Orlando to win, then I think I'm just picking Chicago to not do much. So
Ironically, Orlando's 4-0 to the over this year.
yeah. Well, they've had very low totals. It's been priced in, but Isaac's
Yeah.
been injured. So, and Isaac, we know, is a defensive specialist. So that does play a factor. But I think I'll go under on this one.
Give me Bulls team total under. I just don't. I don't. I'm gonna fade the Bulls. Give me Bulls team total under.
Mm.
They might carry that total under. All right. Paulo's been really good. Paulo's been very, very good this year. All right. Brooklyn Nets on the road going to play the Memphis Grizzlies. Grizzlies laying 12 here. 226.5 is the total injury report for this game. And we have Ben Simmons, game time decision. Bogdanovich, game time decision. Watford, game time decision. Claxton's out. Sharp is out. Jesus Christ.
Yep.
What? Edie and John Morant are both game time decisions. Gigi, Luke Kennard, Cam Spencer, Vince Williams all out. Conchar is also a game time decision. Jesus Christ, what a long list of injuries. But holy shit, who is playing center for the Brooklyn Nets today, Scott?
Right now, Finney Smith.
Oh shit.
Right now. I mean, Claxton did for a bit yesterday. He guarded Joker for 20-something minutes, and he got his ass kicked, and they said, you know what? You're not playing tomorrow. Like, we let you die against Joker, so we're just going to give you the day off tomorrow. Yeah, they don't have a center. It might be Ben Simmons. In theory.
If Ja plays, Ja for king of the court.
If Ja plays, the Grizzlies should win this game by like 25. They should really kill this
What?
game. The Nets
This
had an
should be a
overtime game.
lock.
The Nets had an overtime game in Brooklyn. They're traveling to Memphis. Memphis always gives this team problems because they can't actually like stop Ja. They have nobody who can guard Ja. And I think that with the Grizzlies getting Jaren Jackson back, that adds some spacing.
Mhm.
I want Edie to play. I know Edie could argue defensively can't guard Finney Smith on the 3-point line. I get it. The Nets can't rebound. Like Edie, if Edie plays like 20-something minutes, he really might walk into double-digit rebounds in this game.
Mhm.
I'm going to go with the Grizzlies, but assuming Ja plays, I'll play the drop for it. But I'll wait for Ja to be ruled officially active.
Oh, I mean, I am just like so many. Again, you said it. Coming off an overtime game, second game of a back-to-back, third game in 4 nights, fourth game in 6 nights. Like they've been playing nonstop basketball since the season started, and now they're out without a center, and you're going up against Ja Morant, who's gonna literally go destroy whoever is underneath the rim. Yeah, what in a perfect bounce back spot. This is 100%, 100%. I wish I could lock this up and just say Ja's gonna play and just go ahead and make this a lock for the day. But I'm not. I'm gonna wait till Ja's officially ruled in, and then I'm gonna throw everything on the Grizzlies because the Grizzlies should absolutely beat the shit out of the Knicks, out of the Nets. I'm sorry. Go ahead, play a drop.
To be honest, I would take the Grizzlies anyway, but I would rather get a much better line if Ja sits. I think Memphis is going to win this game by a decent amount anyway, but of course they'll save a bunch of points if Ja's out. But I think Memphis should win this game anyway. I'll play the drop no matter what. Shout out to Dennis Schroeder, who's too good for the tanking team. He's guaranteed to be traded in the next couple months. He's too good.
If Edie and Morant play, it's Ja points, Edie rebounds,
It's
lay
such
the
a good
number.
ED double-double game or, like,
Like
PR
what?
game if he plays,
Just
but
play Edie and Ja and the spread, and that is a SGP that is going to cash today. Like it is. All right. 226.5 is the total. Yeah, I'm not touching anything Brooklyn related. Give me Memphis team total over.
yeah, I'm with you. The Nets, I think, are going to be in trouble here. Yeah, give me Ben. Does Ben Simmons actually get a green light? Just kidding. He was injured last game. Give me Ben Simmons under points for jokes.
The San Antonio the San Antonio Spurs are on the road going to play my Oklahoma City Thunder. Thunder laying 12.5 here.
Did you adopt them
221.
as your
Huh?
team? Did you
Yeah.
adopt them as your team?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
Spurs are kind of my team too, because
I'm not going to call
Devin
you a
Vassell's
front
not back
runner,
yet.
but saying the Thunder are your team now and they're like the second best team in the league, that's a choice.
I mean, I was betting the Thunder when nobody was.
I'm just,
I
I'm
don't
just,
want to
te-
hear
I'm just
that,
teasing.
Scott.
I'm teasing you. Yeah,
I
I
was
know.
taking Thunder plus the points when nobody was.
I'm teasing
Nobody.
you. I know.
Back when no. I love this team.
Yeah,
But
you should. This team's just an absolute force, and Hartenstein's still injured. This team's so damn
at
good.
this point, I think it's Dagnall. Like, I really think it's Dagnall. Like,
I think he's a genius, but I know
they
he was
were
not great
covering
against
the
Dallas.
spread
Yeah,
with a horrible roster when Lou Dort was the second option on the roster.
Oh no, like watching the Thunder play, this team, if you want to go for like a live win total on their season,
Mhm.
they're going to be winning like 63 minimum. Like I think this team has a shot at like 65. I think this team is insane. Is that even a hot take?
Nope.
I know
don't
it
think
sounds
so.
crazy because that's a lot of wins out of an 82 game season, but this team is ridiculous.
And it's like all the pieces are getting better. Like
Yeah.
when you look at the bench, Isaiah Joe, Wiggins, like they're getting all great bench play from like all these guys that just
Yeah.
developed in the league. Like
And Hartenstein
it's just
hasn't
a good
played. I mean,
basketball team.
I'll put it this way: if Chet wins Most Improved, we have to get rid of the award. But Chet's been great.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had a great leap between year 1 and 2, but he'll be one of the favorites to win the award.
Year 2, year 3.
He shouldn't be because he was a top 3 pick in the draft or whatever. But you get my point. Chet's been amazing for this team.
So like what
And the
is
Spurs aren't
San
good.
Antonio? What is San Antonio this year?
I mean, I gave out their win total under. I think that they are a hyped up team because of Wemby, but they have no supporting cast. I mean, do you like the
Yeah.
supporting cast? I know Chris Paul had a great game points wise last time out, but he had like less than 4 points in each of the first 3 games prior to that. But look at their roster. Like, what do you like? They got Harrison Barnes, who is a veteran presence, but he doesn't really do much in terms of, I'd say, improve it. You might improve your team's floor slightly. But what do you have? Like, Vassell's still injured. Keldon Johnson's fine, I guess. Even Wemby, honestly, he hasn't been like amazing this season. He had a good 20 rebound game the other day, but he's not been shooting that well from the outside. I think this team is going to win like 29 games. I don't think San Antonio is that good. Oklahoma City should bury this team based on talent. They should kill this team.
Yeah. All right. You can play it.
All right. I mean, I know we're laying a lot in the NBA,
Yeah, I
which could
know.
be dangerous, but am I wrong about the Spurs? Like, I still couldn't believe their
No.
win total 35.5. I don't think that team's very good.
No, they're okay. I mean, it's so early in the season. I just don't know if they're like horrible yet. They might be all right, but I mean, I can't get in front of OKC. Like they're just really, really good. It's just a large number to like.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a large number in LA, but it's all good. I'm with you. We'll take it. No leans. All right. 221 for the total.
I think I just
I
want
think-
Thunder team total over, to be honest.
Really? I was thinking San Antonio team total under.
Oh, no, that could be true, too, because we think Oklahoma City might beat them by 20. Like,
Yeah.
there's a couple ways to get there, but the Spurs shouldn't be able to score. I agree with you on that. I just expect Shea and company to just torch everybody. Who's Chris Paul going to guard? That's what I want to know. Who's Chris Paul guarding in this game?
Yeah, that's a great question. But 87 to Denver, 95 to Chicago,
Oh,
104
no, this team
to Atlanta.
defensively is
Like, holy
this
shit.
team's nuts.
Fucking insane. Are they good? I don't know if they're even guaranteed to get to 100 fucking points here.
They're not.
Like, yeah, give me San
I
Antonio
think you're
team
right,
total
though. I
under.
think the better play would be a Spurs team total under out of those two.
All right. Pelicans and Warriors rematch in Golden State in the Bay. Or is it whatever? San Francisco now? Chase Center? Where's that at?
Yeah.
San Francisco. Yeah, it's in San Francisco now.
Mm.
Warriors laying 2.5. 219.5 is the total.
Your favorite team playing. You got the Pelicans playing again.
I know. And like it feels this is literally deja vu. I was just talking about this yesterday. All right. Herb Jones game time decision. No Trey Murphy, no DeJounte Murray. We've got Andrew Wiggins is a game time decision for the second game. Steph is out, as you know. Melton is out. Yeah, I'm good. I'm not fucking taking the Pelicans. Give me the Warriors.
Yeah, I feel like I have to agree with you because maybe it's just PTSD. The Pelicans never beat this damn team in
just
Golden
fucking
State.
suck.
Like, it feels like they always go up by a lot and they fall apart every time, no matter who's in the lineup. That's what happens. But I think the Warriors are good. Steph, we saw him miss the game. Wiggins might return to the lineup. We'll see what happens. But Waters, you let Lindy Waters kill you off the bench for like 20-something points? I just think the Pelicans are an unserious team. I made a comment on Twitter, and I still stand by it. I'm not sure why Willie Green is still here. I think this is the Willie Green experience. We've seen the same team for about 4 years in a row, and they're a play-in upside team. Is that what they are? It feels like that's what they are every year. But Ingram and Zion, I believe, combined for 61 points, and you still lost by double digits, and Steph didn't play, and Wiggins didn't play, and you were up by 20 in the first half. Like, I just don't take your team seriously. Give me Golden State. I feel like even though the Pelicans should, on paper, win this game, they have a lot of injuries. Herb Jones is one of their only good defensive players, and he's going to be out. That's a big deal. You're looking at Trey Murphy, who's still out. I love that guy as a 3-and-D guy. I just don't think they're a serious team. And defensively, they got torched. Golden State's a very bad matchup for them because we know the Pelicans are not going to be engaged for a full shot clock on any given trip defensively. And Golden State will run 7 different actions in 24 seconds. And at some point, somebody's being wide open. Like, at some point, somebody's going to get wide open. And whether it's Healed, whether it's going to be Waters off the bench, they have a couple options. But I just don't trust New Orleans, I'd say, defensive intensity to get the job done for the entirety of this game. If New Orleans comes out in a revenge angle and buries this team, good for them. I'll believe it when I see it. I think Kerr's a better coach than Green. I think it's been proven over the years. Give me Golden State at home.
Yeah, not getting no fucking argument out of me. Fuck this Pelicans team. 219.5 is the total.
Over. I don't think New Orleans can guard anybody. And I'm not sure Golden State can really match up well defensively against this team either. They did a better job as the game went on, but I still think Zion should get his. Ingram should get his. I mean, the game yesterday landed 230. Why is this 219.5? I'll go with the over.
Yeah, deja vu principle says take the under, but fuck the Pelicans.
Do you
man.
trust New Orleans to guard anybody?
Yeah, they're not good on, bro. I just think they're not good on the road again. Like, that's what I think this is.
Could be.
Like, they're just struggling to score the basketball on the road. Like, I don't fucking get it. Like, you had it. You had that game in your hand, and you just completely didn't show up and play basketball in the second half.
Shout out to Buddy Hield, though. Been
Yeah,
great for that
19.
team. Shout out to Buddy
19
Hield.
in the fourth is crazy.
28 points over. He's been great. I mean, shout out to Clay, too. He's been good with Dallas, but yeah, they got Hield for a lot cheaper, and he's been really, really good.
All right. Portland Trailblazers on the road going to play Los Angeles Clippers. Clippers laying 8.5 here. 219.5 is the total. Injury report here. And we have Shady Sharp out. Matisse Thybulle out. Robert Williams out.
I forgot Thybulle was still in the league, so thank you for that throwback. I forgot he was still around.
Mo Bamba, Kawhi, PJ Tucker, all out. I think it's so funny that they dropped their here's the Clippers roster, and they had everybody's picture and PJ Tucker's picture is up there because it's like y'all told him not to be here. But so funny. Yeah.
Are the Clippers decent?
Yeah, they are. That's what I was just about to say. I think the Clippers are actually pretty decent, man.
They're not bad.
They're not horrible at all. And I mean, this is a good spot. You got a Trailblazers team that's been playing a bunch of games to start the season, and a Clippers team that has had some rest. Like they've had a couple of days rest coming into this game. Now, the only concern here is that this is the first game of a back to back, and guess who the second leg is? The
Uh,
Suns.
oh,
So
okay. I was gonna guess Golden State, but okay, it's fine.
oh, that would have been a good guess too. But yeah, they got the Suns tomorrow, so that's the only concern here. Laying this big of a number is laying a big number with a team on a back to back. But I think Portland fucking sucks, man. Like I think they're horrible. They're going to be fun. They're just horrible.
See, I don't know how bad they are because they split those 2 games against the Pelicans. We don't think the Pelicans are any good, so I don't know what to make
Pelicans
of
suck.
that team. But I think Harden has a monster game. If you wanted to go for maybe a king of the court option, I don't mind Harden in theory.
Mm.
Is there a triple double on the table? I mean, his rebounds haven't been that great so far this season. I'll admit it. So far this year, he has had a less than 8 rebounds in each of the last 2 games, but he had 12 against Phoenix. The triple double, I think, could be intriguing. I don't trust Portland to really stop anybody. We know Ayton, in terms of his overall, I'd say, motor, can be very, very inconsistent. I'm being generous. He's pretty lazy. I mean, that's the way to describe it. But you're looking at Harden's triple double at 10-1. 10-1? I don't mind that at home. I think he's gonna have the ball in his hands the entire time. I think that he's gonna have a bunch of assists in this game. So I don't mind Harden being involved and having a solid game. We know he's up there in years at this point, but they had a couple days off. His assists are at 10.5. Portland allows a ton of assists. I think he has a great game. But I think Harden triple-double might be on the table here.
Shout out to Adam talking about 8 in first half, strong arm emoji. 8 in second half, sweat emoji because DeAndre Ayton is.
See, Ben,
a
I think
very
it's both. He's saying that Ayton's not lazy, he's dumb. I think it could be both, but I think you'd agree that Ayton, but based on his overall size and
I think he's not
stature,
motivated.
Ayton, that's
He's
a good
just
way
not
to describe
motivated.
it.
He's not motivated to play. Who the fuck would be motivated to play well in Portland? Like he's just not motivated to
Well,
play
to be
well.
fair, he wasn't that motivated in Phoenix, which was a bit of a problem too, because that team was actually good. And that's why Monty Williams hated him. Then again, that beef might have aged well for Ayton because Monty Williams is out of the league. But anyway, point is, Ayton in general, I think is a guy that I thought would be a great player out of Arizona. I thought he was going to be a potential all-star for several years, and it just doesn't seem like he's wired properly. It feels like some guys live and just breathe basketball, and some guys don't. And Ayton, whether there's ice on his driveway or not, doesn't show up half the time. So I think that's a bit of a concern. That's still one of the craziest stories I've ever heard. He chose just to not go to a game because there was ice on his driveway. What, are you kidding me? But the point is, I don't think Ayton's that motivated. I think that he is taking the paycheck and he's showing up. But I think it's a mix of potential stupidity and just laziness, and you can merge the two together. But I have had an issue with his motor for a long time. Ayton, based on his size and his overall skill set, should really walk into like 20 and 10 in almost every game, and he's invisible half the time.
No,
It's a
so
mix
this is
of
how you
the two.
wait. You just have to be a couple of games late with DeAndre, and when you see that he's locked in and he wants to go play basketball, he goes on these stretch runs where he's 20 and 10, and the books don't keep up, and he's
That was the end of
killing.
last year. The team
Yeah.
sucked, and he was putting up monster numbers.
Yeah, but he's not locked in. And granted, it's an 82 game season, and he sees his team sucks. He's not locked in right now. It's cool. We do not bet on DeAndre Ayton right now. We'll wait. At
Well,
some
Ben was
point, he's
right.
going to decide to play.
Yeah, he said that Ayton made it because he said that he got a second contract. So yeah, he got paid. That's kind of all that mattered to Ayton. So there you go.
Clippers laying 8.5 here, man. I can't get off the Clippers.
I don't know if I want to lay 8.5, to be honest, with the Clippers. All their games are
I think they're
close.
going to kill this team.
That's something Robert said. A lot of their games are close. They have played against good competition, though, so I have to at least factor that in.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a sweat. I'll go with the Clippers. I don't see a route. I see Clippers by 12. I think the
enough for the
spread will
cover.
be in the balance in the last 3 minutes. But
Yeah.
I'll go with the Clippers.
And I think they cover it then. I'm with you. I think come on. This Portland team fucking sucks, man. Like,
Shout out to Norm Powell, by the way, who's one of my favorite
is.
bench players in the entire league.
yeah, he's having a great year.
Yeah, he's
All
a good
right.
player. I got to play the drop, though, because we're taking the Clippers laying 8.5.
Yep.
There you go.
Great guitar solo. All right. Lock dog. Actually, yeah, I don't care, Scott.
Okay. He doesn't care.
Memphis lane 12.
Okay.
we really got to stop this Brooklyn Nets propaganda that's going on too. Like, there's actually a little bit of like lore going on with people thinking like people took Brooklyn. I understand.
I took
No,
Brooklyn.
no, but I understand. I understand that. Like, I understand. But like taking Brooklyn twice is crazy
Oh
because
no,
there's
just to be clear, I only took Brooklyn because Denver was on an overtime game and Toronto on a back-to-back. It's the only reason why I took Brooklyn in that game.
that's like that's horrible. Taking Brooklyn because people are betting Brooklyn here. They are betting
It's a
Brooklyn here.
terrible spot for the Nets.
They are Scott. 88% of the money is on Brooklyn.
I
There are
think-
people that are betting Brooklyn.
If Ja plays in this game, Memphis could actually win by 30. I'm not even exaggerating. They could have won this game by 30 points.
Scott, this is insane that people are betting Brooklyn. Back-to-back game, like I understand. Yes, you had perfect reason to bet Brooklyn against the Nuggets. But back-to-back games betting Brooklyn, that's insane. No way. That was the thing that made me say I don't care. I'm laying it with Memphis regardless. Give me Memphis minus 12 here. All right. For my dog. I want to get I would love. I hate that I like so many favorites. I would love to throw some villainy out there for a dog. You know what? Should I take him in the first half or should I just take him for the full game? They actually keep collapsing. Give me the it's plus 140. I'll do it. Give me the Detroit Pistons win the first half plus 140.
All right. So for my lock, I think I'm going to stay with the sides here for this one. Trying to think of where I want to go. I mean, I thought about the Hornets. Damn, Toronto sucks.
Yeah, they're horrible.
Toronto's so bad. But I am wondering if I actually would dare take the Hawks. 4.5 against the Wizards. And the Wizards are awful. I think for this one, I am going to go. Boy. I mean, I think Toronto is so bad. Let me just look quickly again at the injury.
You want
report
to take
here
the
for
Hawks
Toronto.
so bad?
I actually do. I really do. It's such a good sell high spot on the Wizards. They won a game that they trailed by double digits in, and Trae Young had the worst game of the season by far. But then again, you have Dyson
figure out if it's hot, Scott.
Daniels is out though. Hunter's a game time decision. Bogdanovich is out indefinitely. Like there are some injuries for that Hawks team. Like I have to at least acknowledge that they're not fully healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But do I really want to lay 6.5 with Charlotte as my lock on the show? I think I am going to do it.
I will admit, Scott, I did give out Charlotte laying 6.5 on my other show.
I think I am going to go with Charlotte. I think it's just a great spot for Charlotte in general. I mean, you're looking at the games they've played this season, and they beat the Rockets. They lost to the Hawks, scored a bunch of points though. Lost to the Heat by 8. That was on a back-to-back though. They've had a couple days off, so they have been able to kind of reset. And I do think with them not playing in 3 days, they played on Saturday. So I actually like the rest advantage that they have there for that spot. I'll go Charlotte though. You have no Barnes, you have no Quickly. Your team's awful anyway. I think that Charlotte has superior guard play. I think they have a good offense, and I think the defense has been better than anticipated. But I like the time off they've had. Give me Charlotte, minus 6.5 at home. In this one, for my lock, probably I was not expecting to take Charlotte at any point in the season.
Let's
as a lock,
go.
but
Let's
here we are.
go.
I'll go
Queen
Charlotte.
City. Shout out to Charlotte.
Yeah, for my dog on this one, do I actually go alt line with Memphis? I actually am thinking if I want to do that, but I am wondering if there's any other potential spreads I want to go, or maybe a dog in this one. I think Cleveland's going to win, but do I think they win by a lot? You know what? Nah, I think I'll go with a different option there. I'm going to go back to the Cavs game against the Lakers, but I'm going to go with Cleveland to win, but I'm not going to go with the actual spread. Instead, I'm going to go with win margin. I'm going to go with Cavs to win 1-10. And I just want to see what I can get there. Cavs 1-10's plus 170. Give me a close game. I think Cleveland wins at home. I think that the injuries to Reeves and to Russell will hurt the team's depth scoring. But give me Cleveland to win 1-10 at plus 170 as my dog.
All right, Scott. Underdog has Jimmy Butler listed at 18.5 points.
Sure. And if you want to go PRA instead, I'm fine with that too.
28.5 PRA.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. Jimmy Butler lower, 28.5 PRA. Let's see. They have Bronny James props, Scott.
Oh God, what's his number at? We're taking the lower, but where are we at?
Is that 1.5?
Lower.
And the lower is actually 1.12x spicy.
Lower. Spicy on Bronny, low. Yeah, hell yeah.
We just got.
Hell yeah.
Yo, why is it spicy?
See Robert
They really
asking, by the
think
way,
he's gonna
about win
score.
margins. We gave it a lot of win margins in WNBA. Not so much in NBA, but I like the spot.
Yeah. All right, we got the Bronny lower in there.
What is he playing?
Who's
3 minutes in this game?
Yes, I mean, I would be shocked if it's more than 3 minutes in the
I
second
will
quarter.
sweat out 3 minutes with a lower. That sounds fun
Yeah,
to me.
like that's they have to be killing them at the end of the game for him to get in the game, or they get destroyed. Like it has to be out of reach for him to get more than 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And I think this is a competitive game, so yeah, no. All right, who's the last leg?
That's the move, by the way. You bet Cleveland's second quarter because Bronny's going to come in the second quarter. That's the move.
How did that work out for the? Look up how that worked out for the T-Wolves.
I'm assuming that the Lakers covered the spread in the second quarter because they were killing the Timberwolves at half. If I had to guess.
I put Jaws the last one.
All right.
Just to close this out. But Jimmy Butler, lower, 28.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Bronny James, a lower, 1.5 points. And Ja Morant, higher, 19.5 points. I said 19.5, Scott. Like, come on. He's gonna sleepwalk into 20 points. All right. Add that all in the underdog, shake it up, and you're gonna get 6.72x. $100 gets you $672. Make sure you use that promo code NBA SGPN. Yeah, that's 100% why they're. Yeah, LeBron is from Cleveland. Bronny is technically from Cleveland, I guess. Well,
That's the point.
Yeah.
They're going to play him. I just expect
but
it
he's
to
just
be
not
like
gonna.
I'd call it a homecoming, but didn't he like flee the state to play high school and college ball?
Yeah, because they all moved to Los
Yeah,
Angeles.
I'm saying like LeBron got of course went to the Lakers, so I guess it's a homecoming, but he hasn't been in Cleveland in probably like 5 years, maybe longer than that. It's been a while since he's probably been in Cleveland.
Yeah. And Bronny -5.
I mean, that was a market that we pitched last year that we didn't get. We want plus minus options on players.
Oh, hey Scott, and
We still
also
want that.
Underdog has a special pick where not only can
God.
we get the lower on Bronny, 1.5 point, but we can get higher on Bronny Senior 0.5 point. Bronny Senior to score 0.5 point, and Bronny to get lower 0.5 point. What?
That's one of the greatest underdog screenshots you could have for a winning entry. The LeBron higher and the Bronny James
Bronny lower.
That is such a move that I respect it, honestly. That's just good content.
I'm
Just good
adding
content.
it.
You take that and you post it on like Twitter, that's gonna be hitting like 5K for likes. That's just a good tweet. That's just a very good tweet.
You gotta make go ahead. Bronny Senior, Bronny Jr. on Underdog. You can get Bronny Senior over 0.5 point and Bronny Jr. under.
I like you're calling LeBron Bronny Senior. Like I
Yeah,
like how
Bronny
you're
Senior.
using that. That's a new nickname to add. Yeah.
Yeah, he's Bronny Senior. Like he's Bronny Senior. So
Every
Bronny
time I see
Senior.
LeBron and Bronny together, though, I think of that meme where Bronny's like, I want to make my own path. I don't want to whatever. It's like, and coming in at small forward, LeBron James Jr. It's like, who the fuck is that guy?
who is
think of that
Bronny
meme.
James?
This is a great one.
Who is
Bronny James. Who's his
here?
father? Who's that guy? Like, yeah, it just makes me laugh every time I think about it. But yeah,
That's Spencer James' son.
yeah.
All right. Yeah, the Bronny lower 1.5 points and the Bronny Senior higher 0.5 point. That's going crazy on Underdog. Make sure you get that in Underdog Fantasy. Promo code NBA SGPN. All right, Scott, anything else for people before we get up out of here?
Not really. I got the tennis show, hit my lock for today, so can't complain. Hopefully the dog cashes too. Of course, I got World Series stuff, not on the episode today, but I believe that was already recorded, so still doing World Series stuff. But overall, can't complain. A lot of games on the card. Should be fun today.
All right. That's it. With that, I have. Hey, wait. Make sure you give us a 5-star rating and review, please. Hey, please give us a 5-star rating and review. We got a lot of people locked in here.
We passed
for this.
Levitard. Come on, we got to keep
Yeah,
going.
come on. We got to keep going. We got to keep going here, people. So keep dropping those 5-star ratings and reviews. Appreciate you. Give us a follow at SGPN NBA. He's at Reichel Radio. I'm at really raw __. With that, I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just gonna like this. I am 100% playing the Bronny Senior, Bronny Jr. on Underdog. We're out of here.